Hello everybody and welcome back to Let's Play Pokemon Fire Red. I'm your host VGMKoren, and in the last one we took out the first 3 members of the Elite Four. Now we're going to go fight the final one and become the Pokemon League champion. The game takes away your control of your character for this moment so that you can walk epically to the music through this door to the last trainer and leader of the Elite Four. Who is he? Well, I've heard about you, Koren. I lead the Elite Four. You can call me Lance, the Dragon Trainer. You know that dragons are mythical Pokemon. They're hard to catch and raise, but their powers are superior. They're virtually indestructible. There's no being clever with them. Well, are you ready to lose? Your league challenge ends with me, Koren. And of course, it's battle time. Now, he is right. Dragon types are extremely powerful, but well, he actually leads out with Gyarados, which is an extremely powerful Pokemon, but it's actually, you know, water flying type, Lance. So, about that Dragon Trainer thing? Anyways, what you want to do here is, what I want to do is use Toxic in order to immediately poison it and get ready for what's going to come out of it. Now, Dragon Rage, if it uses it again, probably will not be enough to take out Frodo. However, all of Lance's Pokemon have something in common. They know Hyper Beam. And it's going to hurt us a lot. Just tons and tons of hurt and pain is going to come out of this, and it's going to be awful for everyone. It's going to be a good time. Anyways, with the good news about Hyper Beam is that it actually requires a turn to recharge afterwards. So we're actually going to take a revive and actually heal Frodo, because actually I want him in the fight. Okay, I know. I should stop saying actually. Anyways, as you can see, it needs to recharge and it's hurt by poison. So that poison is actually going to do a lot of the work for us. Fatty's kind of just out there to soak up hits right now. And I need a max potion. There's one. Frodo can go back up to full HP, so hopefully it will be able to survive and enter the next fight. Gyarados uses Dragon Rage, and that's going to leave, well, not much of a mark at all, honestly. The poison is going to bring it down below half, and now we want to use Body Slam, particularly at this moment. That way, both the damage and the poison will knock it out. That is our plan here. That way he can't use any full restores on that Gyarados. So, 1 down, and we actually didn't lose too much out of that. His next Pokemon is Aerodactyl. Aerodactyl needs an immediate solution because of the types of moves it knows. Aerodactyl is a rock-flying type, you might remember that we have one, and it gets access to some extremely powerful moves. So let's go ahead and try and bring it down with an Ice Beam. Now, this Ancient Power may actually take out Articuno before Articuno gets a chance to move. Yeah, it did. That's really not good for us. Articuno has not been making a good name for itself in this Let's Play. So what are we going to do instead? Instead, we are going to use Yawn. Now, I want to try and get this Aerodactyl down before the inevitable happens. What's the inevitable? Ancient Power has a 10% chance to raise all of your Pokemon stats by 1 stage. As you might imagine, that is a death sentence for this fight. If Aerodactyl gets that off, you will not be able to win. It will beat you at that point. So what are we going to do? Well, we're going to put Aerodactyl to sleep. Now, thankfully, there's good and bad news here. The good news is that we can wall that Aerodactyl off while we revive Articuno. The bad news is, well, there's a bunch of bad news, honestly, but I have a plan. I have a plan, and it's a good one, kind of. It's at least better than a bad one. I guarantee that. Alright, so the plan, no. Okay, I'm gonna go with my first instinct, which is to, this makes me nervous. This makes me very, very nervous what I'm doing. Body Slam is not going to do much damage here, but what we want is for Aerodactyl to actually wake up. We want it to wake up, that way we have a better chance of getting Articuno to come out in a couple of turns. Wow. Fatty's actually doing pretty good against this Aerodactyl here, which is surprising. Now, I could have switched Articuno out. I didn't think it would be asleep for this long. Now, it is getting close to the point where, yeah, it's going to wake up now and use Ancient Power, which, unless we get a lucky crit at this point, what Lance is likely to do in the next turn is to use a full restore. So, oh yeah, he's definitely going to use a full restore now. It's paralyzed, yeah. Okay, so we're going to yawn at it, because that's what you do. Yeah. Full restore heals the paralysis, of course, but yawn will put him back to sleep. Oh, this is difficult, because the moment that Ancient Power actually gets off what it needs to do to make Aerodactyl a giant sweeper, right there. Attack goes up, defense goes up, speed goes up, special attack goes up, and special defense goes up. Now, the good news here is that by Fatty feigning, we actually get to send Articuno out for free, so it will be asleep for one turn. And I think that both Rock and Flying are weak to Ice. It might be Ground, I can't remember actually, but either way, it's time for Ice Beam. Ice Beam will hopefully be able to take out this Aerodactyl in 2 hits. I'm hoping for a 2-hit KO. Oh man, really? Wing attack? Okay, well that's unfortunate for us. It woke up immediately, and we don't have a whole lot left to fight it. So what do you want to do at this point? Well, I'm going to send out Flop Flump, and the reason I'm going to send out Flop Flump is because Flop Flump will lower its attack immediately, and it's going to use a Rock-type attack to take advantage of the super effective, so we're going to send Frodo out to try and absorb it. Ah, God, I hate this Aerodactyl so much. That Ancient Power just... Okay, so instead, Hyper Beam is going to destroy Frodo, even with a... Oh, apparently not. Okay, so Aerodactyl has to recharge, which means that we can get off a free Toxic. Now, Frodo is going to faint here. That's just what's going to happen. So what do we need to do to win this fight at this point? Well, Poison's going to take a couple of turns to kick in, so what we have to do is we're actually going to use one of our rarest items, a Max Revive. You can't buy these in stores. If you have them, then good. And we're going to Max Revive Fatty up, that way Fatty can hopefully take this Aerodactyl out once and for all. Aerodactyl is one of his most powerful Pokemon, but not his most powerful Pokemon. We'll get to that, don't worry. Oh man, this is terrifying. Because Lance is the point, with his level 58 Aerodactyl, that you might start just wiping out. So I think, I'm not sure, but I think that the poison would be enough to take him out. However, I'm not willing to risk that chance. So we will eat the Hyper Beam, which will do a ton of damage, and Body Slam and poison our way to victory. Yeah, he's definitely going to go down now. Okay, God, that was a rough fight. I hate Ancient Power so much. It is a 10% chance. Dragonite. Okay, so what about Dragonite? Dragonite is Lance's most powerful Pokemon. Level 60, the fully evolved form of Dratini. And also, aside from Mewtwo, the most powerful original Pokemon. It has higher base stats than Articuno. It has higher base stats than a lot of things. It is terrifying. Of course, it's going to use Wing Attack and probably take out Fatty in one hit. Yeah, as you can see, Dragonite has tons of damage, and our only real hope is Articuno, because both Dragon and Flying, which are its 2 types, are weak to Ice. So here's hoping that we can perform a one-hit Ice Beam attack on this Dragonite. If we don't, then we're going to have to revive Articuno again, because no one else can beat him. Alright, so we did actually get it. So watch this Wing Attack just, apparently not annihilate Articuno. I made that out to be much more threatening than it actually... Oh. Well, okay, fine. Have it your way, then. I guess you can go first this turn instead of going second and Hyper Beam and take out Articuno. That's fine. It's fine. I'm not mad or anything. Not mad. Just upset. Okay, so what should I do in this situation? In this situation, we want to send out Flop Flump. Flop Flump will lower Dragonite's intense attack stat, and because it's in the red, and apparently Lance doesn't want to heal it, we can double edge for a takeout. Thank God. I was terrified it was going to live because it's, 14 levels higher than me. Alright, so he only has Dragonairs left. Those are both of his other Pokemon, and they are his weakest Pokemon, so we actually still have a good chance of coming through this and winning. Despite the fact that everything else has gone badly, we will revive Articuno just so it can try and get out some more attacks against these Dragonairs. Now, Dragonair is going to use Thunder Wave, of course, to paralyze Flopflump and make him extremely hard to use, but Flopflump at this point is actually just going to be sitting there so that we can revive Fatty Fatty and Articuno. It's a fair trade at this point, especially because he's paralyzed. Now, Safeguard means that we can no longer inflict status effects, which is unfortunate. It is, but we'll be fine, totally. And Outrage. Outrage is an extremely powerful dragon attack, but because of the fact that Dragonair is not fully evolved, it's weak. Dragonairs are great, except for the fact that they're not. Or Dragon-type Pokemon in general have this issue. They evolve extremely late, they're extremely difficult to raise, and until they reach their final form, they are extremely weak. So neither of this Dragonair shouldn't be much of a challenge. In fact, the paralyzed Flopflump, who spent 2 turns reviving, may actually be able to take it out, which would be amazing. Flopflump, I believe in you. Be a god. Oh, Lance has a full restore left, apparently. So, he decided to save that full restore, not use it on Dragonite, but use it on the level 54 Dragonair instead. Lance, I think you're playing Pokemon wrong. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and let Flopflump fall. And you might be wondering, well, he was doing so well, why would you do that? Because I think that Articuno will be able to sweep this up pretty easily at this point. Let's go ahead and find out if I'm right or if I'm the worst player ever. So this move actually does need to feint Dragonair. And it does! It's a critical hit! Articuno finally does something useful! Hooray! Articuno, I hate you a little bit. Anyways, he's going to use his other Dragonair. And the Dragonair, the reason that he has 2 Dragonairs and doesn't have, and 1 Dragonite, is that the first generation only has those 3 Pokemon, including Dratini as Dragon-type Pokemon. And since the Elite Four only, do that, that's it! I hate to admit it, but you are a Pokemon Master. Oh my god, I can't believe we won, except it was kinda anticlimactic because he used all his strongest Pokemon first. I still can't believe my dragons lost to you, Koren. You are now the Pokemon League champion. Woo! Or you would have been, but you have 1 more challenge left. Aww. There is 1 more trainer to face. His name is Kaz! Dun dun dun. He beat the Elite Four before you. He is the real Pokemon League champion, not you. You suck. Anyways, yes, you might have called this coming. In fact, it's pretty easy to see, but Kaz beat the Elite Four before you. No surprise, considering his team is much higher levels than yours, but also a little bit dumber. So, yeah. That is going to be our final trainer, and we're actually going to go ahead and take him on. But first, we're going to heal up, because, good God, we need to heal so badly. So badly. Articuno, and we're going to use it on Flopflump, and we're going to... Oh. Speeding up made me look stupid. I'm sad now. Anyways, we'll use it on Fatty Fatty, and that is our entire team. Now, because our rival has led with a certain Pokemon each time, we're gonna go ahead and stop that from happening. Okay, he does say the same thing. Yeah, I shouldn't have talked to him again. I was just so curious if he had different dialogue. So, Pokemon League Champion, let's go. We walk through a giant hallway, and... Hey, Koren! I was looking forward to seeing you, Koren. My rival should be strong to keep me sharp. While working on my Pokedex, I looked all over for Pokemon. Not only that, but I assembled teams that would beat any Pokemon type. And now, I'm the Pokemon League Champion. Koren, do you know what that means? I'll tell you. I am the most powerful trainer in the world. And it's time for epic final boss music. Oh my god, I love this track so much. Even though I'm going to talk over it the entire time. Let's just listen for a second. Oh, it's so good, it's so good. Okay, okay. He sends out Pidgeot first, as he always has, and we send out Articuno first, because we're terrible, or at least I'm a terrible person. Now, most of his Pokemon are going to be relatively hard to take out because of their levels. They are high level, they are very powerful, but they aren't dragons. So thankfully, even though Pidgeot is... Oh, he withdrew. This is something that the champion might actually do to you, is he might withdraw and switch out his Pokemon. So now we're fighting against Arcanine and wasting an Ice Beam by throwing it into the Fire Dog. However, 2 people can play at that game, Kaz. We will play the swap game. Totally. It'll be great. I believe in it. Alright, so Flufflump comes out, lowers Arcanine's attack, and I'm sure it's going to use a Fire-type move. Yeah, Flamethrower, which won't do that much damage to Flufflump. Or maybe it will since it's 13 levels low. Nope, it'll be fine. And we're going to use Earthquake to try and take it out. Now, why didn't I use Surf? Because I'm bad. Because I probably could have and would have done better with it, but you know. Earthquake is going to do plenty of damage to Arcanine here. Not enough to take him out, however, so let's go ahead and use Surf this time and see if that does more damage. Now, if Flopflump manages to lose to an Arcanine, that would be kind of amazing. He, of course, your rival, has great type coverage, and Arcanine is kind of an example of that. Now, I'm sure, yep, Full Restore. So, Full Restore is going to bring Arcanine back up to full HP, and we get a free Surf out of it, so it's not the worst thing in the world. It's still pretty terrible. Alright, so I actually want to go ahead and heal my Pokemon now, because, you know, 2 people can play in that game, and if you're just going to leave in the Fire-type Pokemon against the Water-type, then I'm going to just keep abusing it. So, oh, Extreme Speed. This is a Pokemon move that always goes first and has 80 attack power. It's a normal type, but because we lowered its attack power earlier, it doesn't do very much damage. It would actually be better than using Flamethrower if that was the case, if we hadn't lowered its attack power. But I think another 2 Surfs will actually be able to do it. He might choose to use his other Full Restore. No, he does not. He will let Arcanine fall. And that is going to be our second Pokemon that we take out of our champion. Now, you might actually be able to know what to expect here, because all of his Pokemon that he uses are the Pokemon that he's been using through the entire game, except for Raticate, obviously. Articuno finally levels up, gains 1 in special... Is its special attack as good as its... You know what, I'm not going to focus on how terrible it might be right now. Oh, that was our first Pokemon, right, he withdrew. Now, Rhydon is actually a terrible choice for him to send out, and I'm not sure why he did. Rhydon is a rock-ground type evolution of Rhyhorn, is one of the coolest looking Pokemon, and also has no special defense, as you can see. So Flufflump takes him out as well. I'm not sure what the rival is doing. And he's going to send out Pidgeot again. So, yeah. We are now back to where we started. Except for the fact that, you know, he has 2 less Pokemon. Pidgeot is going to go first again, of course, but this Ice Beam should be enough to take it out. Now, the rival is not as threatening as Lance is because his Pokemon just aren't quite as powerful at a base stat level. Pidgeot is nowhere near the strength of Dragonite. So that's something to keep in mind. However, Alakazam is where this fight can get very, very... Let's go with interesting. So, Alakazam is an extremely powerful Psychic-type Pokemon and extremely fast Psychic-type Pokemon, and if he doesn't spend his days using Future Sight, which he's not going to, hopefully, then he will be able to destroy just about anything that you have. Now, I've used Yawn here because I know that I can get a free Body Slam. Oh god, Reflect. Reflect is a move that increases the entire enemy's defense by 50%, or well, it decreases the amount of damage you would... Oh crap. Wow. That was terrible. Alright, well, we're going to rest. We are hopefully going to rest and fall asleep and not be paralyzed and be unable to fall asleep. Okay, good. Now, I said in the previous episode that you can't rest through status effects. I was wrong, and you can see my wrongness on display right here. You can do that if you want to. So, this isn't going as smoothly as I like, but thankfully Paralyzed does mean we will always go first in front of Alakazam. Now, Recover is a move that recovers half of Alakazam's HP. It won't actually recover status effects, though, so it's better than it could be. So a second Snore, and it uses Psychic on us, which is going to be painful. Very, very painful. But thankfully, Fatty will actually be able to live through these Psychics now, and be able to use whatever moves he really wants to. Ooh. Okay, so we're gonna have to rest again, obviously. But, there's the reflect wearing off. Okay, we're gonna play it safe. There's a very real possibility that I could just body slam and take it out in one hit there. However, I'm not willing to roll the dice this late into the Elite Four. It would be a gigantic mistake if he happened to win. Now, as you can see, he was paralyzed, so I would have actually been fine. But, yeah, that is how much damage that that Snore would usually do without Reflect. Reflect is an amazing ability. So we take out Alakazam, and with that, one of his most threatening Pokemon. Now he's going to use Executor, which means that Bahamut gets his last chance in the game to be useful. So what does that mean we're going to do? Well, of course it means it's time to use Overheat and try and take it out in one hit before it murders the living hell out of us. Hopefully this will work. If it doesn't work, then Fly is always still there. Okay, yes. Oh man. That's just sad. It almost worked. But unfortunately it puts Charizard to sleep, or Bahamut to sleep. And in the next turn he's going to use Full Restore. And we're just going to go ahead and swap him out. Now, you might be wondering, why are you swapping him out? What are you doing? Well, he's asleep. That's the problem, is he's asleep and he has his special attack drastically lowered. So I do have a plan here, but I'm going to have to kind of sacrifice Flop Flump in order to do it, because I am the worst person to ever exist, ever. Now, if I had been playing smart, I could have avoided losing Flop Flump at this point, but I didn't, so goodbye, Flop Flump. You were great, but now you're dead. Goodbye forever. Alright, Flop Flump goes down, but since he's been swapped out, Charizard's special attack is back to where it should be. Now, what does this mean for us? Well, it means that we are going to use Flamethrower instead of Overheat, because that way we can lower it down, and just in case he has another Full Restore, actually we can just use a Flamethrower again. Oh, and it's on fire too! Everything's good! Good job, except you're asleep. If you weren't asleep, I would be praising you, calling you the godliest Bahamut to ever be, but you fell asleep on the job, and I can't do that now, can I? So let's go ahead and use Awakening to wake Bahamut back up again, and Egg Bomb should do less damage, I think? Yeah, I think it's a normal type attack, and because Gyarados lowered its attack, Flop Flump. Good God. Okay, so he's going to use another Full Restore. He does have 3 of them, in fact, or that might have been the second. I lost count. But thankfully, since we do go before Executor, we will be able to take it out with 2 Flamethrowers before it can put us to sleep again. So with that done, we have taken out almost all of his Pokemon. Of course, you remember what Pokemon he has last, don't you? I do. I hope you do. It, of course, is Blastoise, and that means it's time for Frodo's glorious final moments in the game. Because Frodo is the only person here that could actually take out that Blastoise. But we're not actually going to use our type advantage, we're just going to use Toxic to make sure that if I end up having to revive Pokemon constantly to try and not die, that I'll be able to know that Blastoise will die eventually. So Blastoise is badly poisoned, and rain continues to fall. Now I'm sure it's going to hit me with an attack, and we haven't been using those Giga Drains, so in fact we have all 5 of them left for this moment. There's Hydro Pump. That's what he should have been using instead of Water Gun a few episodes ago. Rain Dance means it does good damage, but since Frodo is a grass type, it doesn't do great damage. And Giga Drain probably won't keep us alive through the next one, but the damage is already done. He's badly poisoned, and he's going to be going down in just a few turns, regardless of whether or not he takes Frodo out. Oh, Frodo barely hangs on to life. That was kind of epic. Frodo proving his worth here, taking down a Pokemon nearly 20 levels higher than he is. That's kind of crazy. And of course, this poison, after the rain falls, means that... oh, never mind. He has a berry. His berry will restore his HP, even though the poison will take it right back off. Alright, this is the last one. Full Restore. He has another Full Restore. Oh. You don't say, huh? That's really interesting. Okay, so we are now in what I like to call a bad position. I don't think Frodo will be able to live... Okay. So what am I going to do here? What are we going to do? I think I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to heal up Frodo. This may actually not work, and I'm not sure. Oh, hey, I have nuggets. I could have sold those. Oh, well. Getting back on track, Frodo's healed back up, and this next Hydro Pump is going to determine... Well, no, I actually won't be able to live through that because I'm not Giga Draining. But the rain does stop, which means that the next Hydro Pump... He may actually use Raid Dance again. Oh my god, that's the luckiest miss that we have had in this entire game. That Hydro Pump would have taken out Frodo and made this battle much more difficult. But we have Deadly Poison back on him, and we can go ahead and try to use a Giga Drain. Now let's see if that really was the luckiest. It was. That single move may have changed the course of the battle. I think we would have been able to win, but you know. Now, Kicktron hasn't had a chance to miss in the final climactic battle yet, so we obviously need to give him that chance. So, hopefully, he will miss for everyone who's ever watched these videos. Aw, he hit. I'm kinda sad. Doesn't do much damage, but he doesn't really need to at this point. Blastoise will go down soon. Just, he has to hold on for a couple of levels. Now, at this point, he's probably out of Hydro Pumps, which means that he can only rely on Bite, which did flinch us. It means that, one kick aside, Frodo did do all the work in this fight. And with his last Pokemon down, well, I had to say, no, that can't be! You beat me at my best! After all that work to become the league champ? My reign is over already? It's not fair! We get a bunch of money for winning, and of course, why? Why did I lose? I never made any mistakes raising my Pokemon. Darn it, you're the new Pokemon League champion. Although I don't like to admit it. Koren. Angry Eyebrows is back. So you've won. Sincerely, congratulations. You're the new Pokemon League champion. You've grown up so much since you first left with Charmander to work on the Pokedex. Koren, you have come of age. Kaz, I'm disappointed in you. I came when I heard you'd be in the Elite Four, but when I got here, you had already lost. Kaz, do you understand why you lost? You have forgotten to treat your Pokemon with love and trust. Without them, you will never become a champ again. Koren, you understand that your victory was not just your own doing. The bond you share with your Pokemon is marvelous. Koren, come with me. And you leave Kaz there to contemplate his grandfather telling him that he's a loser. Ahem. Congratulations, Koren. This floor is the Pokemon Hall of Fame. Pokemon League champions are honored for their exploits here. Their Pokemon are also recorded in the Hall of Fame. Koren, you have worked hard to become the new League champion. Congratulations, Koren. You and your Pokemon are Hall of Famers. And what does that mean? Well, of course, it means that we have to see that for ourselves. The screen fades to black, and saving. That's right, we are the champions! I am the champion! Oh. And it shows us all the Pokemon that we beat the Pokemon League with. From the useful, like, you know, Fatty, and the useless, like Articuno, who ended up not really working out for us. Welcome to the Hall of Fame! And of course, there's... I don't know where they got that confetti in a computer screen. I don't know why I'm in the computer screen. League Champion, congratulations! It took us 21 hours to get here. That is a long time. And you leave. And Kaz runs away. Because, well, his grandfather told him that he sucked. Now, I think this ending is actually new and isn't in the original versions, with Oak leaving and then, of course, you as well leaving? I don't remember. Yeah. And that is the end. Pokemon Fire Red version. Oh my god, it's over. 31 episodes of Pokemon Fire Red. This was a really extremely fun Let's Play, and as you can see, it's going to take us back through all the places we adventured through, from the best to the worst. Oh my god, that was the longest Let's Play I've ever done. It was a ton of fun, but it's been going on for forever, or what feels like forever to me at least. Alright, so what do I want to say about Pokemon? Pokemon is, of course, an extremely fun game. It is just one of the more fun games, in my opinion, even the more recent ones. I mean, I actually love the more recent ones. Playing through Fire Red again actually reminded me just kind of how terrible the originals were. Now, don't get me wrong. I absolutely love... Ooh, hi Bahamut. I actually love the original games. I love them to death. But the type variety and the gym variety is actually far, far less than I thought it was. In fact, I barely remembered that the later gyms just kind of use whatever Pokemon they feel like using instead of actually using the Pokemon type that they're supposed to use. Same thing happens with the Elite Four, with people like Lance and Bruno not using the Pokemon type they're supposed to specialize in. In later games, of course, this has changed because there are more than enough Pokemon to take over that. But in this version, it's kind of strange just to know how different it is. There's Venusaur, who's not near as awesome. That salad, thankfully, only got a cameo appearance in the credits. Never need to see it again. So what else? This has been a fun Let's Play, of course, obviously. Now, I'm actually not done. There will be a couple of bonus episodes to get through the end of this, to get through the big end-game content, and of course, people have told me what they want to see. We won't be doing all of the post-game content, but Pokemon is known for opening up a ton in the post-game, including, in this version, once you beat the second, all the side quests, then the Elite Four actually levels up, and you can fight them when they're, like, level 70 plus. It's kind of crazy. But that's not what we'll be doing. We will be going to a certain cave and trying to capture a certain thing. Oh hey, we get to see Kaz, standing in the distance, throwing his balls up and down, contemplating why his grandfather hates him so much. What a poor guy. Now, I actually have learned a lot about in this... I've learned a lot Let's Playing this about, especially doing RPGs. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed it, then I encourage you to hit the like button, subscribe, comment down below. All of that stuff helps me create more content and helps me know what you guys want to see next. It's great for you and it's great for me because you guys are the best subscribers in the world. You win. You are the best. I couldn't do this without you. I wouldn't do this without you. So I hope to see you in the future. Don't worry, there's more Pokemon coming. But we will be starting new projects fairly soon. And I actually have several ideas already of what those are going to be, but that would be telling now, wouldn't it? Pokemon, fun game. It's a lot of fun. Even though this kind of took away my rose-tinted glasses, it was an amazing game, and I am incredibly happy to have played it and shown you guys it. So with that, we come to the end. And, well, like all good things, Pokemon has to come to an end. But not today! I've said it before in this, and I'll say it again. More content, bonus content is coming. So I hope to see you guys next time. Because, well, where we're going next is probably going to kill me harder than the Elite Four. I hope to see you then.